The views and opinions expressed in the following show do not necessarily represent those of this station or its sponsors.
Getting your work week started right by stretching out your vagina holes with the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919. Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com.
Am I the meanest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the prettiest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Alien Stone.
But who am I?
Alien Stone.
Who am I?
Alien Stone.
I can't hear you.
Alien Stone.
The Shogun of Harlem.
And good morning, everybody. It is now time for the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. I am your host, Alien Stone, all up in your face from outer space, broadcasting from the dark side of the moon and from inside the Mothership. Thank you for being beamed aboard. The inertia canceller, it's canceling. The gravitational plates are gravitating. And the deflector array, well, the deflector array is just coming up with stupid ideas about what to do with undocumented aliens. I support a lot of things, but we're going to talk about something I do not support today. Finally, they've come up with something I'm like, that's ridiculous. All right, anyway, enough of that. Most of the stuff is funny and hilarious that we're going to deal with today on the show. Of course, we've got a lot of the normal staples like this day in the history, What the Florida, and our wackadoo of the week, all on the way. News from NPR, our weekly sports update from The Prospect. And, of course, we will replay just a few questions from Inside the Mothership, which airs at 12 noon Eastern on Alien X Radio, Raw Talk Online, and UG Media in the UK. The show Inside the Mothership, like I said, it is a staple here on our station, AXR, hosted by myself and D-Unit. This week's episode is called Extreme Teabagging. Sounds great, right? Yep. We'll stick around for that. Some of our, what do you call them, talking points. Toddler locks an iPad. Sanctuary City insanity. Man on fire at the White House. And the return of WLLZ and the Drew and Mike Show to the Detroit area. A broadcasting legend. Both. And they have now returned to one of the largest radio regions, I guess. Markets. One of the largest radio markets in America. Some of the things we're going to talk about today is etiquette for your postal service workers. Remember, they're coming to your house. So we'll talk to you a little bit about how you should, just have a little courtesy for them. As well as food deliveries. Are they safe? And don't forget to tip your servers. All of this coming up this hour and much, much more on the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. But first, let's start things the way we always do.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
Let's take a look at this day in history.
April 15th, 1912. Just hours after hitting an iceberg, the Titanic sinks off the coast of Newfoundland. About 1,500 people on board the British luxury liner perish in the waters of the icy North Atlantic. 1865. President Abraham Lincoln dies in Washington, hours after John Wilkes Booth shoots and mortally wounds him at Ford's Theater. Vice President Andrew Johnson succeeds Lincoln in the White House. 1947. Jackie Robinson becomes the first African-American player in Major League Baseball. His debut with the Brooklyn Dodgers shatters baseball's decades-old racial barrier. 1986, the United States launches an air raid against Libya in response to the bombing of a disco in what's then West Berlin, Germany. Libya says 37 people, mostly civilians, are killed in the raid. 1998, Pol Pot, leader of Cambodia's Khmer Rouge, dies of natural causes along the border with Thailand at age 73. He evades prosecution for the deaths of 2 million Cambodians under his brutal regime during the 1970s. And 2001. In New York, punk rocker Joey Ramone, lead singer of the Ramones, dies of lymphoma at age 49. Today in history, April 15th, Sandy Kozel, The Associated Press.
All right, now that we know what happened back in the day, let's go ahead and get to something today. A little music from Bottoms Up and Be My Girl on the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
This is Justin from Conquered Angels, and you're listening to Alien X Radio.
Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your Vajir holes. You have been beamed aboard and are now inside the mothership for the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. Can you feel it?
Welcome back, everybody, to the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. I am your host, Alien Stone. So far, we've done This Day in History. We've done some great music. That was Concrete Angels. A good friend of the station and the show. They've been on many times. What do we got coming up here? We've still got news from NPR on the way. We've got the return of WLLZ and the Drew and Mike Show to the Detroit area, broadcasting legends. Postal delivery etiquette. Are food deliveries safe? Tipping your servers. All of this is still on the way, but right now, it is my duty to inform you that this portion of the show is being brought to you by Ashley's of Westland. Come into Ashley's on April 24th to help cast your vote and crown yet another brewery throwdown champion. It started with 16 breweries fighting for your vote to see who would move on in the March Madness style bracket. This week's two breweries are Rockford and Dragon Mead. They'll be going head-to-head to see who can clinch their spot in the finals. Each beer that they sell from 5 to 11 will count towards the brewery's total, and at the end of the night, they'll tally them up and declare a winner to move on. Just remember that with good food, everybody wins at Ashley's. That's Ashley's of Westland, Michigan's premier multi-tap. So, what am I supposed to be talking about right now? Oh, yes. Imagine, I'm sure you've all done this before where you're on a website and you're trying to enter your password. And you've entered it a couple of times, and it goes, well, you've entered your password a few too many times. So we're going to lock you out for a little bit, which is really funny. They don't lock you out completely. It's a time frame, and then you can come back and try it again. So if you're a hacker, you just wait and come back. I guess you'll hack other accounts while you're waiting. But imagine if somebody else was just randomly all day long punching in the wrong password, and it keeps lengthening that time. Well, listen to this.
A New York dad locked out of his iPad for the next 48 years?
That's unfortunate, and it was all thanks to a curious toddler. Evan Osnos took to Twitter to get help after his 3-year-old put the wrong password into the iPad too many times. So many times, in fact, the device was locked until 2068. His kid would be 51 by the time he could use it again. Thankfully, some Twitter users suggested a full recovery restore, and the dad successfully accomplished the reboot to regain access, but lost all of his data.
Wow, can you imagine? You don't even realize that your kid's been sitting over there for the last hour just playing around on your iPad, and now you're locked out for years. So yeah, he's back into it. He fixed it, but he lost all of his data. Now you got to kind of think about stuff like that when you're handing your devices over to children to play with your stuff. Think about what could happen. Now you're like, well, they're just a kid. They don't know what they're doing, so they wouldn't be able to do that, right? Well, if they happen to get the screen there that says input your password and they're just playing around with it, you know what I'm saying? They're punching in digits and numbers. All it takes is to bump the enter button. Boom, oh, there's a try right there. That's hilarious, though. That's hilarious. Not to mention that when he got it back, and then he, had to do the full restore and everything, there was also, fingerprints all over it and juice box juice, and there was crumbs from Cheetos, or not from Cheetos. They don't give Cheetos to the toddlers, no. It's Cheerios. Crumbled up Cheerios and juice box juice stuck all over to the iPad. That is hilarious to me. That is hilarious to me. Anyway, think about that. Next time that you hand one of your devices over to your kid, because they're screaming. They're screaming. They're reaching for it. I want to play with it. I want to play with it. I want to play with it. And you don't want things to be right or wrong. You just want it to be quiet. So you give them your phone or your iPad or whatever, and just think it could happen. I'm just saying. It's a crazy thing and a fluke, but it's not really so much of a fluke. It happened so many times in a row so many times in a row that he was locked out for decades. That's messed up. That's messed up. Anyway, it is time for more music for your Vajir holes. Still coming up, like I said, news from NPR, the return of WLLZ and the Drew and Mike Show, postal delivery etiquette, and are food delivery safe? And are you tipping your servers appropriately? I doubt you are. But we'll get to all that when we come back. First, the music for the Vajir host, brand spanking new submission to the station from an artist called Sal the Musician. The tune is called Low. And just to let you know, I mean, we play all kinds of music here on the station. If you want to submit your music to the station for rotation, it can be under consideration for standard rotation on Alien X Radio, which means that it is of the heavier rock and roll genre. Or if it is not of that genre, it can still be in the running for consideration to be used on shows like Inside the Mothership, The Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space, and a variety of other shows that are available here on Alien X Radio. So, that being said, Sal the Musician, Low, the name of the song, and it's The Attack.
People I love are fading. Relationships have no meaning. My world has started spinning. My heart has lost all feeling. I feel I'm sinking low and low and lower. My surroundings getting colder and colder and colder. Everything's becoming slower and slower and slower. I think I'm gonna go when I hit the next new low. Nobody cares, you're delusional. Stop doing this for attention. Nobody cares, you're delusional. Stop doing this for attention. Things I love the most are fading. Moments I love have no meaning. Places I love have started spinning. My life has lost all feeling. I feel I'm sinking low and low and lower. My surroundings getting colder and colder and colder. Everything's becoming slower and slower and slower. I think I'm gonna go when I hit the next new low. Times like this you gotta reach out for a helping hand. Cry for help even though it hurts just to stand. I know you say you got nothing in this life of yours. A broken soul in the moment right before it's yours. Higher and higher and higher. Woman, woman, woman. Faster and faster and faster. I think I'm gonna stay higher and higher. Woman, woman, woman. Faster and faster and faster. I think I'm gonna stay.
I'm Michelle Wolf, lead singer of H.I. Rustica, and you are listening to Alien X Radio.
Is this the sacred land? Is this the sacred land? Is this where I lay my head? Is this our final stand?
can I get you? I'd like the chef salad, please, with the oil and vinegar on the side, and the apple pie a la mode.
Chef and apple a la mode.
But I'd like the pie heated, and I don't want the ice cream on top. I want it on the side, and I'd like strawberry instead of vanilla if you have it. If not, then no ice cream, just whipped cream, but only if it's real. If it's out of a can, then nothing.
Not even the pie?
No, just the pie, but then not heated.
Uh-huh.
And I'll fight till the death of me, 'cause it won't do me any better if I lie here surrendering to whatever is meant to be. And I'm frightened by the sound of my own beating heart. There's a memory I can't escape, so I'd put my ear to your chest if only that what it meant was not hearing the sound. And I bet it's so sweet and so comforting, but just not to me. And I'm stuck in this place where I don't give a damn about anyone. 'Cause no one stuck around, and I should be out making a name for myself instead of sitting here stuck in this house. And it's becoming quite clear to me where I'm supposed to be. Why haven't I got the chance?
Show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919.
Bus commercials, definitely.
Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Awesome!
Woo! Yeah!
And now your weekly news update from NPR.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
I've always listened to it.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Corva Coleman. Thunderstorms are still striking the Northeast as a major storm system powers into the Atlantic Ocean. Severe weather struck the eastern half of the country over the weekend, leaving at least 8 people dead. Some storms created tornadoes. These were reported from Texas north to Ohio. The storms also left heavy damage in Mississippi, where Irv Howard is helping clean up his brother's property.
The fence around this pool has been pretty much blown down. I had 3 giant pine trees that's blown over in the field.
The weather also led to thousands of flight delays in the U.S. The White House continues to talk about President Trump's call to move undocumented migrants from border cities to targeted sanctuary cities. White House spokesman Hogan Gidley told NPR's All Things Considered that it isn't political retribution, it's an olive branch.
If you can't deport them and you can't detain them, the only option is to release them. The problem is we consistently release these family units in the same communities, into San Diego, San Antonio, Yuma, Phoenix, El Paso, all along the southern border, and they should should not be forced to bear the brunt of policies.
Democratic lawmakers say the president is using migrants as pawns and as a political tactic, and that the call to move migrants is not legal. They say there's no budget for that purpose either. Democrats say they have numerous immigration proposals prepared, and the president won't listen to them. American Airlines says it plans to keep its fleet of Boeing 737 MAX jets grounded until mid-August at least. NPR's Windsor Johnston reports the decision to follows two deadly crashes in the past 6 months.
The decision to ground the fleet is expected to result in about 115 flight cancellations per day, an estimated 1.5% of the airline's total daily flights. Boeing, which manufactures the 737 MAX jets, says it's still working on a software fix that will need to be certified by the Federal Aviation Administration. In a statement, American Airlines says it's confident the impending updates, along with new training elements, will lead to the recertification. Ethiopian Airlines released a preliminary report earlier this month on the crash of its plane in March. Investigators said the pilots used procedures provided by Boeing but could not stop the plane's repeated nosedives. Windsor Johnston, NPR News.
Protesters in Sudan say the military has stopped trying to break up a sit-in outside the country's military headquarters in the capital, Khartoum. No one was hurt. There are no reports of violence. Sudan's military has taken over control of the Sudanese government and deposed former President Omar al-Bashir. Military officials say they were responding to the people's will, but they are not creating a civilian transitional government. This has led to continued civilian protests.
Ashley's of Westland, the best for food, friends, and entertainment. Stop in on Mondays for $5 burgers, Tuesdays for $3 pints and trivia, Wednesdays for $5 pizza, and don't forget to stop by on Saturday nights to visit our own DJ Wild Bill and Sporkle Live. Order delivery online with Grubhub and Uber Eats at Ashley's.com. Ashley's of Westland is located at 7525 Wayne Road in Westland, Michigan. Ashley's of Westland, Michigan's premier multi-tap.
Captain, I'm picking up a strange anomaly.
Mr. Tukok, what is it? It appears to be a primitive form of communication that is traveling through space, Captain.
Captain, I've traced the source of the transmission.
On screen. Damn it, Jim. That's Earth.
Captain, a signal's coming in.
On speaker.
The John LeBang Show is on every Saturday and Sunday at 8 p.m. right here on Alien X Radio.
Fascinating. I told you not to mess with the space-time continuum.
You got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your Vajir holes. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
The house is now on fire.
And welcome back, everybody, to the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space, a second half of hour number one, all up in your face. I hope you enjoyed your news, a little information for your Vajir holes. Also, we've learned to keep your iPad away from your kids if you ever want to get back into it again without losing all your data. I'm just saying. Watch your kids, man. Watch them. See what they're doing. Toddler, for crying out loud. Anyway. Still coming up, we're going to talk about the return of two broadcasting icons to the Detroit area, which is, I don't know, I haven't checked the ratings as of late, but I know it used to be like the third largest market in the country. No, not third, fifth. The fifth largest. Who knows what it is now? I don't know. Now that iHeartRadio has bought all the stations, and it's all one big giant area, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how it works anymore. They've changed broadcast radio so much. But icons from back in the day, a return after 23 years. 23 years. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Sharp. Wow, this microphone here needs to be adjusted, doesn't it? It just keeps moving on me. When we get into some music for the Vajir holes, I'm going to get into the closet and pull out a screwdriver and fix this bitch. Anyway, where are we at on here anyway? Music for the Vajir holes on the way. Here I am saying, hey, we're going to talk about this in a little bit. And according to the script that's in front of me right now, we're supposed to talk about that right now. So, 23 years is how long it took, people. 23 years ago, there was a radio station in the Detroit area called WLLZ. The Wheels. Detroit's Wheels! And they were in direct competition with another iconic Detroit rock and roll radio station called WRIF, The Riff. And The Riff ended up winning that battle, and WLLZ went away 23 years ago. And with them was Dr. Doug Boat. Oh, man. The Doc. Doug Boat. Man. Wow. I can't even say his name. Doug Podell. There we go. Now I said it. It's saying his title at the beginning. Doug Podell and Trudy Daniels. They disappeared 23 years ago. Well, they have come back. They found a new home at 106.7 in the Detroit area, and they have brought back WLLZ, and it is now called the Next Generation of Classic Rock. They're playing all kinds of great music on there. Now, a lot of it is the same type of music that you would hear on WRIF, which is also still a fixture in Detroit. Still the number one rock and roll radio station. I believe it is, according to whatever they use now to promote themselves, or not promote themselves, but get their ratings. I don't know how they do it anymore. Okay? I really don't. So, they play the other side of that genre. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you hear girls, girls, girls over here, then over here you might hear, I don't know, a different song by Motley Crue. I'm saying something that they're not playing over there. So it's actually kind of refreshing. So what did they do to go even further to bring back something else? Well, back in the day, there was a morning show on WRIF called The Drew and Mike Show. And they were let go for political reasons, whatever reasons it was. They were making fun of somebody. I don't know what the reasons were. I don't know. Okay, can't let go of me. I'm the boss. Anyway, they transitioned into becoming a podcast, a very, very popular podcast. They get about 3 million downloads per month. That's a lot of downloads. Okay, that's a hugely popular show. Now, unfortunately, some time ago, Mike from the Drew and Mike Show passed away. But the podcast continued as the Drew and Mike podcast. Well, WLLZ in Detroit has decided to also bring back that icon. And now on Saturdays and Sundays from 8 to 11 in the morning, they have brought back the Drew and Mike Show. And they are still calling it the Drew and Mike Show in respect for Mike. Now, of course, they've got other people on the show. Trudy Daniels, I believe, is on the show as well. So you might want to tune in and check that out. Not to tell you to go away from listening to this station or any of our fine affiliates, but I'm just saying the broadcast is pretty BA. Okay, it's just BA. So we need to get some more music into your Vajir holes. It is that time, and I'm thinking Hell Rides North sounds about good right now because that's kind of aggressive. And we just had like a little lull. We calmed down a little bit. We listened to a cool story. Now let's get all up in your face again. Hell Rides North with What I Despise on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
Illusions cracking through you.
Hi, this is Doug Bradley, Pinhead from the Hellraiser movies, and you're listening to Alien X Radio. And you'd better carry on listening to Alien X Radio, or I will tear your soul apart.
resistance is futile, but you can struggle if you like.
It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
You got something to say? Say it, bucko. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We got, about 10 minutes left of hour number 1 of the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. And what are we talking about at this moment here? We're going to talk a little bit about, you don't even realize sometimes that you're being inconsiderate. Okay, I'm not saying that you're an a-hole. I'm saying you don't realize it. You're an a-hole and you don't know it. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. There's 3 things I'm going to hit on here real quick. With many, okay, if you know anything about just a few questions, you'll understand there's going to be, when I say a few things, that means a lot of things, okay? But 3 main topics here. I'm going to cover postal delivery etiquette, are food delivery safe, and are you tipping your waitress correctly? All right, now, right now I know all the waitresses out there in Listeningsville, out there that's picking up the broadcast. They're like, huh? They perked right up, man. Their heads lifted up. Goes, what do you mean? What's this guy going to say? Is this guy going to say that we're not getting tipped enough? What's this guy going to say? Well, I'm going to get to that. But first, I'm going to start with something that I know a little bit more about, and that is postal delivery etiquette. Okay? What this means is that you have gone online, perhaps, maybe Amazon or some other, whatever, Walmart, whatever you did. You went online and you purchased something. And with that comes delivery, which means that it's going to be brought to your house. Okay, when it's being brought to your house, you need to know that that's going to be done by a person. Okay, that's going to be done by a person. That's not going to be transported there via some technology that Earthlings have not invented yet. It's not going to be dropped off by a drone. It's not going to just magically appear there on your porch. It's going to be brought by a human being, another person. So think about that for a moment when you ordered something, which means you're asking a person to bring it to your house. Okay? So when that person arrives at your house to deliver that package, make it, possible, Make it so that it's, a little bit easy to do so, A lot of people don't understand, like when you shovel your one little walkway in the wintertime from your door to the door of your car, and that's all you shovel, okay? And then the delivery driver shows up, and he has to trudge through all this snow up the driveway, slipping and falling and hurting himself, trying to get up to that one little strip just to get to your door to deliver your package that you ordered and asked to be brought there. But you didn't offer any consideration to the delivery driver. All I'm saying is take a moment and think about what the delivery driver's job is. Okay, he arrives at your house and you have your dog in your front yard because you have an invisible fence that keeps him in. Okay, that keeps him in, but it also keeps me out because I can't enter with a dog out there. You know what I mean? It's raining outside and your package comes in a paper envelope. So how am I going to keep it dry? Well, I'd like to put it in between your flimsy fake security outside screen / storm door and your actual secure heavy wooden / metal door on the inside. But I can't because you locked the outside door as well as the inside door, and now the package has to be left out on the porch in the rain, and then you'll call to complain that it got wet, and then we get a ding on our record as delivery drivers because you wanted to lock a door on the outside that can be opened by any 5th grader pretty much just by pulling on it, okay, and breaking it. Because there's no security to that door. So, your fault. I'm just saying, I'm not calling you an idiot. I'm just saying you're not thinking about receiving that package that you ordered. Delivery drivers that are bringing you a pizza that you ordered. Okay, we didn't turn on the porch light. What do we need the porch light for? You got headlights on your car, right? We can't see your address. Okay, we can't see your address. Just turn on the porch light. Think about the driver. Think about that. Okay, so enough of that. Just one other thing that I do at my house all the time. When I shovel the walk for everybody, the outside walk, the walk up to the porch and everything, I also dig a trench in the snow on the grass from my mailbox over to the driveway of my neighbor so that the mailman doesn't have to walk through the snow. He has a nice clear path to walk straight across to the next house without having to walk all the way back around on the walkway. It's just a moment to think about the person that's going to have to bring you your stuff. He's servicing you. He's bringing you things that you asked for or need. So just take a moment to do something to accommodate that. That's all I'm saying. Now, we got like about a minute left to cover two more things. Are food delivery safe? I'm just saying when you use Grubhub and Uber Eats and stuff like that, just think about who is bringing your food. Are they playing it? Are they eating it? Are they drinking your drink? There's plenty of reports of this happening. Of course, I'm sure that still represents 1% of all the drivers, if that even. But just think about that when you're ordering, something to be brought to your house. And are you tipping your waitresses properly? Okay. Remember, they're only getting paid a very small amount of money to do all of the work, including work that they have to do that doesn't involve bringing you your food. They have to roll silverware and things like that where they're not getting paid the same wages as everybody else because tipping is supposed to be part of that. So you're supposed to be tipping them appropriately. If you get a discount on something on your food, you still tip on what it would have cost, not what it does cost, on what it would have cost. Also think about when you're getting a takeout order from a restaurant that has waitresses, they have to stop for what they're doing, which is making money off of their customers that are at tables, to go and put together your order, put in the silverware, put in the croutons, make your salad, put it up, do all this kind of stuff they have to do to prepare your order. You should tip them as well. I know you said, well, I'm picking up my own food. Right, but it was all prepared and put together. I said, maybe you don't have to give them as much as you would if you were inside, but make sure that you're tipping these people because they are making sure that you get your food, making sure that your food is right. And basically, my opinion has always been, if you can't afford to tip your waitress, you can't afford to eat out, sit at home and have a sloppy Joe. We'll be back with hour number 2 of the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space right after this.
Ashley's of Westland, the best for food, friends, and entertainment. Stop in on Mondays for $5 burgers, Tuesdays for $3 pints and trivia, Wednesdays for $5 pizza, and don't forget to stop by on Saturday nights to visit our own DJ Wild Bill and Sporko Live. Order delivery online with Grubhub and Uber Eats at Ashley's.com. Ashley's of Westland is located at 7525 Wayne Road in Westland, Michigan. Ashley's of Westland, Michigan's premier multi-tap.
Oh my God. What have I done? What have I done? Look at the turning wheel. The Alignment, the latest CD from The Creeping Chaos, featuring Dead in the Water. Dead in the water. Beg for mercy and Under the Blade. We live our lives under a blade. Available now at iTunes, CD Baby, and Rock of Ages in Garden City.
Oh, honey, what a wonderful surprise. A dozen roses and chocolates, a candlelit dinner, and now champagne and strawberries by the fire. You're so romantic.
What do you say we get a little closer?
Igor? That's right, Igor here with the final ingredient for love.
Igor's lube?
Nothing gets things moving and grooving like my lube, and it prevents chafing.
Thanks, Igor.
And don't forget, Igor's lube now comes in cherry, mint, and salmon flavor.
Igor's Lube. Get some today and get some tomorrow.
Are you looking for a way to get your message out there? Have you been looking for just the right way to advertise your business, website, or upcoming event? Have you thought about advertising on the radio but thought it would be too expensive? Well, you should try advertising on Alien X Radio. We have advertising packages for every budget starting as low as $30 per month. That's right, radio advertising for as little as $1 a day. You don't have a commercial? No problem. Our copywriting and production department can create a radio spot complete with voiceovers, sound effects, and music that's just right for your needs. And unlike other stations, the production is included. So what are you waiting for? Just visit www.alienxradio.com and click on the advertisers link to get a look at our packages and rates. Then contact us at advertising@alienxradio.com. That's advertising@alienxradio.com.
The views and opinions expressed in the following show do not necessarily represent those of this station or its sponsors.
Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos, directly into your Vajir holes, it's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. You got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com.
Am I the meanest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the prettiest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Alien Stone.
But who am I?
Alien Stone.
Who am I?
Alien Stone.
I can't hear you.
Alien Stone.
The Shogun of Harlem.
All right, everybody, welcome to hour number 2 of the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. I am your host, Alien Stone, the Shogun of Harlem. No, that was show enough. Which I have just, like I told everybody during Inside the Mothership yesterday afternoon, that if you were to watch a couple of movies, just 2 movies, if I had to tell you just watch these 2 movies and you'll get me, you'll understand. Yeah, there's a lot of other movies that you would have to watch to really fully know me, but to understand where I'm coming from, if you watch just 2 movies, you would get it. Number 1 would be right there. You heard that clip from The Last Dragon. If you watch The Last Dragon, you got half of me figured out right there. Okay? Now, the next one would be The Last Starfighter. Boom. Take those 2 movies, watch both of those, and come back to me after that homework and be like, okay, I get it. I understand where you're coming from now. Intergalactic Kung Fu Superstar. Wow. That's a cool name. Anyway, no, it's not really. It is time to go ahead and get our number 2 underway. Still coming up, we got the weekly sports update from The Prospect. Sanctuary City Insanity. And I'll tell you about a guy. Hey, IKEA, that's my nut you've got there. I love that title. And being or getting offended? Are you being offended or are you getting offended? Are you a snowflake? Question mark. And you're allowed to walk away. That's all coming up this hour, as well as plenty of music for the Vajir holes, and I will eventually get this microphone fixed. It's just driving me insane. Anyway, let's go ahead and get some music for the Vajir holes. What am I picking out here? There's a band, another one that they played recently at Alien X Fest. The latest Alien X Fest that we just did. Band's called Dark Serenity, so let's go ahead and give you a tune called Coward on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
I'm joined right now by a very special guest. You might know him as Merle from The Walking Dead. It's actor Michael Rooker. So you're listening to Alien Stone.
I'll never be able to say all that. I don't say anything that has to do with alien stones. I don't like talking about aliens, and I definitely don't like talking about their stones. So, no, I can't do that. You can do that one. That's my tag, and I'm sticking to it.
When the full moon rises, they're coming after you. From out of the shadows, held dogs her cattle, making souls of humans bleed. Lightning and thunder, they feed the hunger of the shadow casters. Disguised in pleasure, your souls they treasure. The beast of hell infecting food. Fruit of the tree, they held on wine. Just need a little to make you lose your mind. Gather round the circle, drinking hell dog's wine. Hell dog's pounding. Hell dog's pounding. Lightning and thunder, they trapped you under the shadow caster's spell indeed. The darkest magic, your choice is tragic. The smell of lust infecting in the heat of the night, when the full moon rises, in the heat of the night, they're coming after you.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
What the Florida?
All right, folks. It's time now for What the Florida. And is this part? Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No. Yes. All right. So, Michael Casey Lewis, 37 years old, was originally arrested on charges of grand theft Thursday morning. So, he was captured. He was arrested. for grand theft already. So he's already in deep doo-doo, right? Lewis had just bonded out of the county jail and was released Thursday when deputies say that they spotted him behaving suspiciously. Like right off the bat. Okay, he's already acting suspiciously. After being released, deputies in the parking lot of the jail observed Lewis pulling car door handles and learned that he had just burglarized several cars just there, right there, at the jail. He's still at the jail, in the parking lot of the jail, breaking into cars, burglarizing them. Well, that's what breaking in is. Alien Stone. Surveillance video captured Lewis briefly getting into a silver vehicle and then walking around the rest of the parking lot, looking into cars and checking to see whether they were locked or unlocked. One officer approached Lewis and said that he this is what he said. He was waiting for his girlfriend to pick him up. The affidavit said that the officer noticed he had cigarettes and cash, which was unusual for someone who had just been released from jail. How would he have the cigarettes and the cash? You're not supposed to have that. So that, some of the thought, some food for thought there. You know what I mean? And there has been What the Florida for this week on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. Went a little out of order on this stuff today, man. It kind of threw me off. Sorry about that. So anyway, right now, let's move into this. It's, this portion of the show is being brought to you by Ashley's of Westland. Come on into Ashley's on April 24th to help cast your vote and crown yet another brewery throwdown champion. It started with 16 breweries fighting for your vote to see who would move on in the March Madness-style bracket. This week's two breweries are Rockford and Dragon Mead. They'll be going head-to-head to see who clinches their spot in the finals. Each beer that they sell from 5 to 11 will count towards their totals, and at the end of the night, they'll tally them up and declare a winner to move on. Just remember that with good beer, everybody wins at Ashley's. That's Ashley's of Westland, Michigan's premier multi-tap. Now, that being said, what did I say I was going to get to here? I totally forgot what I was supposed to. Oh, yeah, that's right. We're getting to this. Which thing? Oh, man. See, look, I'm all thrown off here. See, I do a live read, and then I figure out, oh, that's right. Sanctuary City Insanity. We have been hearing about this the last few days. Of course, it starts with a tweet anymore, you know. Everybody does everything through tweets now. You know, nothing is ever official. Nothing's ever released. It starts with a tweet, and then everybody's got to figure it all out after. Everybody already inputs their conjecture and their speculative angles on everything based on feelings, and the seriousness of everything is heightened in areas it shouldn't be and declined in areas where it should be. It's just, and then finally they try to sort it all out after everybody's already formulated opinions on garbage. Does that sound about right? Does that sound about right? Remember when we used to figure it all out first and then officially release everything with all of the information? I barely remember that time because it doesn't seem to happen anymore. Does not seem to happen anymore. Anyway, I'm going to play this little clip here. And I'm going to come back and tell you what I think about it. Because a lot of you people know who I support politically. You know, I try not to put it too much into the show. But I think you all know where I come from on a lot of things. So I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to chime in a little bit. And then we will move on. Trust me.
This was just an idea that had been kicked around by a few aides and run up the flagpole at DHS. ICE had said we can't do it because it's an illegal sort of thing that we'd have to do. It's not allowed under the laws governing the detention and release of illegal migrants into the United States. Also runs afoul of appropriations restrictions because of the money that it would cost to do it. But then suddenly this afternoon, the president tweets about it. So in the Roosevelt Room a little while ago, as he was talking about installing new 5G systems in the United States, I asked him about it, and here's what he said.
We are giving very strong consideration to having people after a 20-day period because, again, you're not allowed legally to hold them for more than that. We will move them into sanctuary cities.
Now, the reason the president is doing this, as he says, because Democrats have not been cooperating with him on trying to close loopholes in immigration law, do a more comprehensive immigration reform plan, and, of course, build a wall along the southern border. How did the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi respond to it? Listen here.
I don't know anything about it, but again, it's just another notion that is unworthy of the presidency of the United States and disrespectful of the challenges that we face as a country, as a people, to address who we are, a nation of immigrants.
And Nancy Pelosi happens to live in one of those sanctuary districts. Now, there was a report earlier this morning in the Washington Post that the president was pressuring the Department of Homeland Security and ICE to adopt this policy, even if it were illegal. The incoming acting director of ICE, Matt Albans, shot down that notion in a statement saying, quote, as the acting deputy, which he was before he became the acting director, I was not pressured by anyone at the White House on this issue. I was asked my opinion and provided it, and my advice was heeded. The email exchange is clear, and suggesting that it indicates inappropriate pressure is absolutely inaccurate. The president also saying this afternoon, Neil, that he is going to send more troops to the border. Patrick Shanahan, the acting Secretary of Defense, said the military stands ready to assist in any way it can. We did not know, though, the number of troops that the president would be asking the Pentagon for.
Now, okay, I am all for 100% border security. Okay, and everybody that knows me knows I am 100% for that. I really am. Okay, I think that if you don't go through the proper channels, then you're not allowed in. Okay, period. And if you're going for this amnesty thing, okay, well then you have to follow the rules of that. Okay, which means there are certain reasons why you can declare that. And I'm just poor, or I'm looking for a better life for my family, isn't one of those. That's one of the ones that go through the other channels. And I know it takes a long time, and that sucks, but that's the rules. Okay, I'm sorry, but those are the rules. I'm all for that. Okay, but on this particular issue, both sides are being absolutely ridiculous on this. Absolutely stupid for this to even be considered. It's absolutely ignorant. Okay, so your solution to illegal immigration being in this country, your solution is to go ahead and let them enter illegally, put them into areas where they were told they can be, okay, and then leave them to take care of them. Now, let me ask you this question. What makes you think for a second that if they wouldn't stay in their own country, that they're going to stay in the sanctuary city? What makes you think they're going to stay there? Okay, this is a ridiculous thing. This is a poke in the eye because someone's poking you in the eye. That's exactly what this is. This is tit for tat bullcrap is what it is. And I don't agree with any of this. It's ridiculous. Okay, the point is they're within the country still. And that's what we're trying to stop. Okay, they should be immediately removed. Here you go. Bye-bye. Here's a bus. We're driving to put you right back where you came from. Here you go. I'm sorry. If you dislike me for that, I apologize that you dislike me for that. Okay? I do. I apologize that you don't like me. Okay? But I don't apologize for being what you don't like if that's the case. I'm sorry. All right? I'm sorry. There's my apology. My only apology that you're going to get is for you being upset. And I am going to talk about that later on, too. Like, are you being offended or are you getting offended? We'll talk about that later. Are you a snowflake? There is somebody I had posted something on Facebook, and they had come in and said, well, this snowflake, blah, 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 blah. And after her post, I read it and everything. I was like, well, you do not fall into that category. I just read your post, and you are not a snowflake. And I'll explain to you what I meant by that. And you are allowed to walk away. Okay? You are allowed to walk away. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's go ahead and get back to some more music for the Vajir Holes. We still have the weekly sports update from the Prospect, as well as, hey, Kia. Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, IKEA. That's my nut you've got there. That's on its way up. But right now, it's Once an Empire and Satellites, the name of the tune on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
How can you see into my eyes like open doors, leading you down into my core, where I become so numb without a soul. My spirit sleeping somewhere cold until you find it there and breathe it back home. Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Call my name and save me from the dark. Bid my blood to run before I come undone. Save me from this nothing I've become. Now that I know what I'm without, you can just leave me. Breathe into me and make me real. Bring me to life. Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Call my name and save me from the dark. Bid my blood to run before I come undone. Save me from this nothing I've become. Bring me to frozen in time without your touch, without your love, darling. Only you are the life among the dead.
All this time, I can't believe I couldn't see. Kept in the dark, but you were there in front of me.
I've been sleeping 1,000 years, it seems. Got to open my eyes to everything.
Without a thought, without a voice, without a soul, let me die here. There must be something
Bring me. Bring me to life. Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside. Call my name and save me from the dark. Bid my blood to run before I come undone. Save me from this nothing I've become. Bring me to
Hi, this is Carrie from Rain, and you're listening to Alien X Radio.
broadcasting directly into your brain.
And now your weekly sports update with the Prospect.
Hello all and welcome to the weekly sports update with the Prospect on Alien X Radio. Now we all know that the Los Angeles Lakers have a lot on their plate already, with yet another missed trip to the playoffs and unrest within the team, especially with Golden Boy LeBron James making the team last offseason. Now it's been reported that 2 staff members have left, Luke Walton and Magic Johnson. Losing Walton is one thing. The team and coach mutually parted ways after 3 seasons of futility and have already started their search for his successor. But Magic was the team's president of basketball operations. His title, although high and mighty and way up there in the hierarchy of the franchise that he as a player won multiple championships with, was too much for Johnson to handle as he abruptly stepped down on Tuesday. The pressure was too much and he just wanted to be himself. And that's what matters. As for the coaching vacancy, there's rumors that the organization is looking at Tyronn Lue, who, as we all know, has a history with LeBron in Cleveland. Others are being considered, so I will update this story as it happens. The Baltimore Orioles are celebrating after their game against the Boston Red Sox on Saturday after first baseman Chris Davis hit a single in the first inning of the game. Now, what makes that blooper in right field significant is that it was his first hit in 55 at-bats, which was the longest streak of a non-pitcher in Major League history. Davis's last hit was last September. His streak-ending hit was one of 3 in the game, driving in 3 of the team's 9 runs in their win. Now that's proof that as long as you keep at it, any bad streak can be broken. Well, tune in next week for more sports. For Alien X Radio, this is your boy the Prospect. Say until next time, Prospect out.
Ashley's of Westland, the best for food, friends, and entertainment. Stop in on Mondays for $5 burgers, Tuesdays for $3 pints and trivia, Wednesdays for $5 pizza, and don't forget to stop by on Saturday nights to visit our own DJ Wild Bill and Sporkle Live. Order delivery online with Grubhub and Uber Eats at ashleys.com. Ashley's of Westland is located at 7525 Wayne Road in Westland, Michigan. Ashley's of Westland, Michigan's premier multi-tap.
The Paul Farah Comedy Show on Alien X Radio every Monday at 8 p.m. ET. Tune in for comedy guest music and a whole load of madness erupting on the airwaves. The Paul Farah Comedy Show. Let the mayhem commence.
Resistance is futile, but you can struggle if you like. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. You got something to say? Say it, bucko. Call into the show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space, broadcasting live on alienxradio.com, tunein.com, I guess. It's an app on your phone, but it's also a website. We're also, our affiliates around the world carry the show as well. We are being broadcast literally all over the world, being listened to primarily in the UK. Wow, no, I'm just kidding. We have a lot of great fans over there. Especially the people over at UG Media. Fantastic group of people over there. They really know how to promote and network and really you kind of do the you scratch my back, I scratch your back kind of thing. And, you know, it's really good to work with people rather than against people. You know what I mean? Which, as we just heard earlier in a story, that's all that's going on right now is that people are intentionally working against each other. Instead of you scratch my back, I scratch yours, it's I'll stab you in the back and you stab mine. So, okay. Things get done that way. Certainly. Anyway, before we get back into some more music for the Vajira Holes, which is coming to you at this moment from Italy. That's right, a submission from Italy that we've been playing on the station for a while. That's on its way. But first, I just want to talk a little bit. This is a hilarious story. Absolutely hilarious story. See this poor gentleman right here? It's so sad that he purchased this. It's a shower stool. It's a shower stool. And it's got it's red plastic, and it's got legs on it, and you're supposed to sit in so you can sit down in the shower. Well, he was naked, of course, and he sat down on the chair in the shower. Well, if you're looking on YouTube or on Facebook Live right now, you can see a picture of it, and there's holes in the chair, so the water can go through. It's a shower stool. Well, unfortunately, other than water, his testicle went through the hole and got stuck. So imagine he went to stand up, and the weight of the stool lifting up along with his testicle. I'm sure he sat right back down real quick. Okay, how he got out, I don't know. I'm sure it involved soapy water, or maybe just the soap. I don't know. Or hopefully he didn't have to call the fire department, and they didn't have to bring out the jaws of life, because that would have been horrifying. Nightmares from now until the end of time. Yeah, see the guy. You can clearly tell that picture was taken before this ever occurred, because I'm not sure that it'll be anytime soon that he is taking selfies where he's smiling like that, because this has got to be on his mind all the time now that this can happen to you. Okay, it's nuts. Oh, it's nuts. I said it was nuts. Get it? Anyway, this poor guy. So, anyway, thanks for tuning in to the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. Again, I am your host, Alien Stone. Still coming up, are you being or getting offended? Are you a snowflake or are you not a snowflake? And you're allowed to walk away. Okay? I'm going to hit on a little George Carlin stuff there, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see when we come up to that. All of that is still on its way. But first, some music for the Vajir Holes. Coming from Italy, a band called Scary Box, and Spread Your Pride is the name of the tune on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
My name is Tyler Chernoff from Red Baron, and you're listening to Alien X Radio. I'd like to take this time right now to dedicate this next song to Alien X Radio, as this song is about aliens. As I spent about 7 hours straight watching Ancient Aliens, and I decided to write a song about it. So I hope that comes through in the lyrics to you, people. Or you can take it for whatever you want. I'm probably crazy. You think I'm crazy? Hey, I wasn't asking you. Jesus. All right. This next song's called Not Alone.
jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your Vajir holes. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Come on.
All right, everybody, once again, we are screaming through the galaxy at triple redunculous speeds. Thanks for being beamed aboard and listening to the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. I love doing this every Monday. We go live at 9 a.m. Eastern right here on alienxradio.com. You can also find us on the TuneIn app. We'll also be broadcasting live on Facebook.com along with videos so you can see my beautiful face, as well as on YouTube. All of this happening live right now, as well as you could be live by calling in at 313-444-8919. Again, that's 313-444-8919. Call in during any talking segment. Obviously, if the music's playing and I try to answer the phone, that's going to go on the air over top of the music. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'll probably do it anyway. I don't know. I love phone calls. Anyway, I love it, man, when you call me. So where are we at here? We are in the home stretch of hour number 2. We still have a whole other hour left of this beautiful broadcast, followed by To Serve Man, which is an hour-long request show hosted by myself. It's a mouthful of alien stone for lunch called To Serve Man. It's a cookbook, and you provide the recipe. You tell me what you want to hear, and I play it for you. That's coming up at 12 noon Eastern. So, we just talked about that poor guy from IKEA and his nut getting stuck. So sad for that man. So sad for that man. Anyway, it is my pleasure and duty to inform you, once again, that this portion of the show is being brought to you by Ashley's of Westland. Come on into Ashley's on April 24th to help cast your vote and crown yet another brewery throwdown champion. It started with 16 breweries fighting for your vote to see who would move on in the March Madness-style bracket. This week's 2 breweries, Rockford and Dragonmead, will be going head-to-head to see who clinches their spot in the finals. Each beer that they sell from 5 to 11 will count towards their total, and at the end of the night, they'll tally them up and declare a winner to move on. But just remember that with good beer, everybody wins at Ashley's. That's Ashley's of Westland, Michigan's premier multi-tap. So, everybody's waiting for this, right? They're like, oh, Alien Stone's about to piss us all off. And if you are about to be pissed off, then I'll get to you in a minute. But the first thing I am going to bring up is this. When somebody is, and I'm putting just the word offended in quotations, okay, because it's the leading up to that. That's the question, okay? Offended. There's been offense. And I don't mean a wall. I mean offense, okay? The question is, are you being offended or are you getting offended? Now, you're saying it's the same damn thing. Alien Stone is the same damn thing. And I was like, it's not the same damn thing, okay? And I'll explain to you what I mean. And that leads into the next question, which is, are you a snowflake or are you not a snowflake? Okay, starting off, are you being offended or are you getting offended? Number one, let's say somebody is talking and you hear them talking and they say, yeah, I was walking down the street the other day and this big giant woman, she was all obese and she was walking down the street in spandex and it was so tight I could see a pulse, pumping through her giant butt that she was dragging on the sidewalk behind her. Oh, my God. Now, that's a horrible thing for somebody to say, of course, and I just made that up. I'm just, I'm not talking about anybody. This isn't a true story. I'm using it as an example. But if you are overhearing this, whether you're obese, not obese, a little overweight, wearing spandex, whatever your reasoning is, it doesn't matter. If you're overhearing this and they're not talking about you and you get all pissy about it and upset, then that means you are getting offended. You're getting offended. And that's on you to deal with. If you got offended by that, you need to deal with that, not them. You don't need to go after them. Now, here's the difference between getting offended and being offended. You are now that big woman walking down the street And I, as I approach you, go, oh my God, look at you. You are hugely fat and you're wearing this spandex stuff that I can see a pulse through that big giant butt that you're dragging down the sidewalk. Now you are being offended. I have directed my hostility and my rude comments directly at you personally. You're being offended. Which one do you think is more wrong? You know what I mean? One is your business. The other one isn't. That's what it comes down to. Okay? Everybody has the right to be offended. No. That's not right. But you can get offended. And that you have to deal with. I can do something that you get offended, and that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. But when I do something that offends you directly, okay, you are now being offended. You're not getting offended, you're being offended. Do you understand the difference here? I'm just saying there is a difference there. Now, I'm not saying that you're not being an a-hole by saying stuff that somebody is getting offended by. Yes, you can still be an a-hole. Okay? But it doesn't matter at that point. You're being an a-hole to yourself or your friends in your little clique, minding your business. You're not directing your a-holeness at anybody. You're not offending anybody. You're not attacking anybody directly. You're minding your own business in your own little clique, doing your own little thing. And whether you like that or not, that's in their little clique, and they're not bothering you directly. So you need to deal with that on your own. And that's a harsh thing to say, and I lose friends over that, and that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Because that's how it works. Which leads us to, are you a snowflake or are you not a snowflake? I had posted, hey, by now you should know me, and if I'm saying things that offend you and you get all upset and everything all the time, then you don't need to be on my friends list, because you're going to see something in my post that's going to upset you, and you're going to get all offended and crybaby about it. And I don't mean to say crybaby about it, but that's what a snowflake does. Okay? And somebody commented, well, you know what? This snowflake isn't going to go anywhere because I enjoy seeing your posts and stuff. And I said, well, then by definition, you are not a snowflake, because a snowflake is not somebody, it's not anybody who disagrees with me. That doesn't make you a snowflake. You're entitled to your own damn opinion, just like I am. And I respect the fact that you have your own opinion, and I will listen to your own opinion whether I agree with it or not. It probably won't change my mind, but I'll listen to it because I respect that. But the fact that you can, in fact, tolerate my opinion, even though it's different than yours, goes to the very heart of the fact that you are not a snowflake. Because a snowflake is someone who cannot accept that. They cannot accept the fact that you are different than them, that you have a different mindset or a different opinion. They can't handle that. That is what a snowflake is. So are you a snowflake? It depends. Can you listen to somebody's opinion and say, okay, well, I understand where you're coming from. I disagree. Or do you go, oh, I understand where you're coming from, but you know what? If you do not change your mind, then we're going to fight about this until the end of time. Okay? Or we're going to not be friends, or I'm going to block you. Okay, everybody has differences of opinion. And that brings us to the final part of this whole rant, and that's you're allowed to walk away. It's called freedom of choice. It's one of the things that the country was founded upon. Look it up in a library sometime if you have any of them left when you're finished burning all the books. That's from George Carlin. So basically, if you don't like something, you don't have to be involved in it. You don't have to. Okay? If you want to get involved, then fine. But you don't have to. You are entitled and allowed to walk away from anything. Okay? Hey, well, I've been friends with this guy for 8 years on Facebook, and for the last 2 years, he's just been such an a-hole, posting all kinds of things that get me all riled up and angry, and we get into fights, relentlessly, and now I just feel like next time I see him, I want to punch him in the face. Well, then maybe you should just unfriend that person or block that person or not follow that person. Okay? I mean, if it's gotten you that riled, I get upset about a lot of things on Facebook. I post a lot of things. I go after, I say a lot of things, but I don't attack people to the point of being nasty. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't take that, then that's okay. You can block me. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You can get rid of me. That's fine. Okay, because my opinion is my opinion, and it isn't going to change just because it may or may not hurt your feelings that I don't agree with you. Time to take a short break and pause in the action for station identification. We will be back with hour number 3 after this. A man on fire at the White House. More news from NPR. And New Mexico finds 44 diamonds in the rough. What's that about? You'll find out when we return for hour number 3 of the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Ashley's of Westland. The best for food, friends, and entertainment. Stop in on Mondays for $5 burgers, Tuesdays for $3 pints and trivia, Wednesdays for $5 pizza, and don't forget to stop by on Saturday nights to visit our own DJ Wild Bill and Sporkle Live. Order delivery online with Grubhub and Uber Eats at Ashley's.com. Ashley's of Westland is located at 7525 Wayne Road in Westland, Michigan. Ashley's of Westland, Michigan's premier multi-tap.
Oh my God. What have I done? What have I done? Look at the turning wheel. The Alignment, the latest CD from the Creeping Chaos, featuring Dead in the Water. Dead in the water. Beg for mercy and Under the Blade. We live our lives under a blade. Available now at iTunes, CD Baby, and Rock of Ages in Garden City. You just robbed a house. You have all this great stuff that now belongs to you, but you got this annoying pang of guilt nagging at you. You just can't get over the thought of the lives you've shattered in your quest for illicit goods. Well, worry no more, because your friends at Cell Block Greeting Cards have the answer for you. Introducing our new line of petty crime thank you cards. Before you smash and grab one of our cards and leave it behind on your next heist. Choose from any of these fine, heartfelt cards like,
"Sorry I crapped on your couch, but thank you for the plasma TV."
Or,
"Thanks for the PlayStation, alcohol, and penny jar."
And,
"Don't use your toothbrush."
For a limited time, introducing,
"I'm still in the house."
And many more sentimental petty crime thank you cards. Available at any back alley, shadowy parking lot, or Walmart.
Me and my lady want to get busy tonight. What do you recommend? Igor's Lube. I got my fist stuck in a gravy boat. Any ideas on how I can get it out? Igor's Lube.
The hinges on my cabinet doors are squeaky. What should I use?
Igor's Lube. I got dry, flaky elbows. Igor's Lube.
Okay, but what if I'm being held hostage by a supervillain in an underground lair with a ticking time bomb and only seconds left until detonation? What would save me then, huh?
Igor's Lube.
That's right. Everything is smoother with Igor's Lube.
Igor's Lube. Get some today and get some tomorrow.
Are you looking for a way to get your message out there? Have you been looking for just the right way to advertise your business, website, or upcoming event? Have you thought about advertising on the radio but thought it would be too expensive? Well, you should try advertising on Alien X Radio. We have advertising packages for every budget starting as low as $30 per month. That's right, radio advertising for as little as $1 a day. You don't have a commercial? No problem. Our copywriting and production department can create a radio spot complete with voiceovers, sound effects, and music that's just right for your needs. And unlike other stations, the production is included. So what are you waiting for? Just visit www.alienxradio.com and click on the advertisers link to get a look at our packages and rates. Then contact us at advertising@alienxradio.com. That's advertising@alienxradio.com.
The views and opinions expressed in the following show do not necessarily represent those of this station or its sponsors.
Give me some static. You got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. You have been beamed aboard and are now inside the mothership
For the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
When's the last time you had a good time?
Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your vagir holes.
Am I the meanest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the prettiest?
Alien Stone.
Am I the baddest mofo low down around this time?
Alien Stone.
But who am I?
Alien Stone.
Who am I?
Alien Stone.
I can't hear you.
Alien Stone.
The Shogun of Harlem.
All right, everybody, welcome to hour number 3 of the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. All of In Your Face from outer space, broadcasting from the dark side of the moon. Screaming through the galaxy at triple redunculous speeds, and by the way, we're headed back towards planet Earth. I didn't realize that we did that harsh turn. That's because of those inertia cancelers. They work pretty good, man. Jupiter Station does a fine job updating the software and the hardware, and my demented mind on occasion. Still coming up, we got a lot of stuff going on this hour. Man on fire at the White House. Let's talk to you about that. And New Mexico finds 44 diamonds in the rough. What is the rough? What were they doing in there? It's a good question. And we will revisit just a few questions from inside the mothership, which is live on Alien X Radio, Raw Talk Online, and UG Media in the UK every Sunday at 12 noon Eastern. And the segment called Just a Few Questions is where I ask just a few questions of D-Unit, the co-host. And this week's episode is called Extreme Teabagging. That is on its way, as well as another weekly news update from NPR. And music for the Vajir Holes. But first, let's go ahead and get to this.
And now your wackadoo of the week.
All right, our wackadoo of the week, everybody. Aggressively eating pasta and asking about people's bits. He's our wackadoo of the week. A shirtless and drunk guy was arrested outside of Naples, Florida, at an Olive Garden last week after customers complained he was sitting on a bench and shoving handfuls of pasta into his mouth. He could have been shoving it into something else. I mean, aren't you supposed to put pasta in your mouth? Maybe not by the fistful. Maybe you should use a fork and actually sit at a table and take, no, I don't know, maybe. Ben Padgett? I have trouble with people's names. Ben Padgett. I never heard that name before. 32, was charged last Saturday with disorderly intoxication and resisting an officer, according to a police report obtained by the Miami Herald. So this was in the actual newspaper. This is like journalism, everybody. His erratic behavior first reached the boiling point when he threatened to beat up an employee who he had bizarrely asked them. He asked whether or not they had male parts or female parts. Well, he actually said male sex organs or female sex organs. Let's not even get into the whole, you're not supposed to ask people what their gender is. We're not even going to get into that, okay? That's a whole nother show. Once outside, this guy allegedly began muttering obscenities and begging for change. Hey, you got some change? Hey, you got some money? I need some more money. Well, yeah, you mother effer, and blah, blah, blah. All in between handfuls of pasta being shoved into his face. Arriving cops gave the pasta-eating panhandler, wow, that's almost like a tongue twister. Cops arriving gave the pasta-eating panhandler paper towels and so that he could clean off his hands and his face before they cuffed him and took him away. So, you cannot aggressively eat pasta. It's really not about the pasta now, is it? Okay? Basically, you can't, drink a 12-pack of beer and do 5 shots, and then go to the Olive Garden, order some pizza or some pasta, sit on a bench and eat it with your hands while you're swearing at people and asking them if they've got a penis or not. Generally, that's considered bad form. You know what I mean? That's bad form. Anyway, I think it is time now for some music for the Vajir Hole, so let's go ahead and get into that. I'm just telling you that it's inappropriate to do that. Now, you can try to change my mind. Oh, Change Your Mind by Big Motor Gasoline, the name of the band. And you're listening to The Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from Outer Space.
When I'm down, I'm really down, I'm really down. When I'm high, how can I get so fucking high? Come on, I'm never there, you're fucking gone. Well, you show, and I want you to know, time is now to set it right. I can't change your mind. Well, I can't bring you back. I can't change your mind. It's all gone way off track. I've waited a long time, and I can't wait no more. Get you to where you wanna be, and now you're slamming the door. It feels like a never-ending carousel, and I just can't get off. This roller coaster gives me nothing but pain. Get me the fuck off this train. Wish it would just slow down. Wish it would just slow down. I wish it would just slow down. Wish it would just slow down. I can't change your mind. Well, I can't bring you back. I can't change your mind. It's all gone way off track. Change your mind. Well, I can't bring you back. 'Cause I can't change your mind. It's all gone way off track. 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 It's all gone way off track.
Hello, this is Ernie Singleton, a.k.a. T-Dog from The Walking Dead, and you are listening to
The world ended. Didn't you get the memo?
Yo, don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do what you want to do. Set your goals, accomplish your dreams. I'm off and running, baby. I am trouble. Let's go.
I hit the ground
I'm running, I ain't looking back again. All the shit I've done in the past has got me adamant to be the man that I can be and lead them to the promised land. Cause I done finally found my flame and I can take a stand. I ain't giving up again, but y'all don't really understand. Everything I went through, I did it so I could be a man. Sacrificing myself so y'all ain't gotta do it. Knowing that my daughters will hold me down if I'ma lose it. I swear to y'all and these babies, they made my doing fluid. I'ma keep it moving like a Buick just to prove it to them. Riding till the wheels fall off, I can't be not pursuing. Cause I done promised myself that I'ma make it big. I don't give a shit what you say about me, I'm on again. See this music, I love it like it's a friend of mine. Had I never found the mic, I probably would've lost my mind. Or ended up a junkie looking for another line. I ain't going back again to the lonely road that I used to roam. I was so alone, but I built my dream and now I'm living it. Got my hands in the air and yeah, I'm kicking it. I'm not going back, I ain't going back again to the lonely road. I can still remember everything that they said, that I could never be a rapper, get it out of my head. So I didn't choose a rapper, picked an artist instead. And now I'm painting perfect pictures like Picasso with that. It ain't a dream anymore because I live it. Just a timid little boy that flew off without a gimmick. Now I'm giving everything that I got like the critic. Always kept it real, you can never say that I didn't. Told Sony go to hell, I ain't changing my image. I am the person I am and got a flow to defend it. And I'll be damned if I sell out, I ain't even bending. So put one in the air and smoke for me. Let me take you on a journey that my eyes can see. And I'ma show you everything that I chose to be. Hard work and dedication is a part of T. So if you're feeling how I'm feeling, come on, sing it with me. I ain't going back again to the lonely road that I used to roam. I was so alone, but I built my dream and now I'm living it. Got my hands in the air and yeah, I'm kicking it. I'm not going back, I ain't going back again to the lonely road. I ain't going back again to the lonely road that I used to roam. I'm so alone.
You got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your Vajir holes. You have been beamed aboard and are now inside the mothership for the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Can you feel it?
Let's rock this joint.
All right, everybody. Once again, you're tuned to the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space, and I am Alien Stone. And here we are, just about quarter past the hour. And once again, it is my duty and my privilege to tell you that this portion of the show is being brought to you by Ashley's of Westland. Come into Ashley's on April 24th and help cast your vote to crown yet another brewery throwdown champion. It started with 16 breweries fighting for your vote to see who would move on in the March Madness style bracket. These two breweries are left to compete this week. Rockford and Dragonmead will be going head-to-head to see who clinches their spot in the finals. Each beer that they sell from 5 to 11 will count towards their totals, and at the end of the night, they'll tally them up and see who is the winner, and they will move on. Just remember that with good beer, everybody wins at Ashley's. That's Ashley's of Westland, Michigan's premier multi-tap. See, I changed up a little bit there because everybody's like going right along with me. They're saying it exactly word for word with me. And I threw you off, didn't I? Didn't I? Anyway, thank you very much, Ashley's, for being a sponsor of the station and the show. We appreciate you very, very, very much. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to this, shall we? I'm gonna play the clip and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. Do I have a photograph? Yes, I do have a photograph of this. Let's go ahead and throw this up. Okay, check this out.
A man in one of those wheelchair scooters was sitting in front of the White House and lit his jacket on fire. The Secret Service, and there's many uniformed Secret Service who stand at the ready outside the White House, came running over to the gentleman to try to help put out the jacket, but he didn't want them to. There is speculation by law enforcement officials that it might have been the man was trying to take his life in front of the White House by self-immolation. Law enforcement source tell me that there is a mental issue here. The man was injured, he's got first-degree burns, but not badly injured. He has been taken to the hospital for treatment of his injuries.
All right, so the guy, this is like crazy. Okay, think of all of the ways you can protest stuff. Think of all of the different ways that you can get your message out there. And then add setting yourself on fire to that list, and then as a sane person, tell me where on that list will your priorities and your intelligence place that? I mean, come on. Think about it. First off, everybody's like, oh my God, what's he doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Okay, well, now you're on fire. Now you're on fire, and nobody even knows why you're on fire. You're an idiot. People who do this kind of stuff as a protest, you're a moron. Most of the times, people don't know why you did it. No, I'm not saying before you set yourself on fire, hold up a sign. I'm saying don't set yourself on fire. Because chances are, your one protest, even as dramatic as it is, and you've killed yourself now, your one protest did not change everybody's mind. It did not affect everything the way you think that it would have affected it, and now you're dead. Or, in this guy's case, he's seriously injured and on the way to the hospital. I don't know if he died later or not. I don't know. But you set yourself on fire, dude. There's more going on than that. You're not just protesting. There's something fundamentally wrong with the workings inside your brain. Something isn't working correctly. Something is miswired in your brain. This goes back to things that I have said for years. It's like, if you have the ability to murder somebody, then you have had that ability to murder somebody. Okay, I don't believe that you developed the ability to murder somebody by watching television or playing video games. I believe that there was something fundamentally wrong with you that made you able to commit such a thing. I believe that it was fundamentally wrong with you. There's something wrong with your brain. You had to be crazy to commit murder, in my opinion. Does that mean everybody should get off on an insanity plea? No. I'm not saying that. There's a difference between being insane and I don't know what you can call this fundamental thing that you just don't understand. Consequence, right from wrong. You don't understand. I don't know. I don't get it. But the guy sets himself on fire. Why? To get your point across. What was your point? We don't know. You didn't tell anybody. You just set yourself on fire. See, they'll understand now. Yeah, we understand. Fire burns, and now you're going to the hospital. You're stupid. We understand that much for sure. You're a ding-dong. And there were pictures taken, of course. This is outside the White House. It's outside the White House. We've got people that are on government payroll that are now not doing their jobs. Instead, they're outside with their cell phones taking pictures of the guy that set himself on fire being taken away by the fire department / ambulance / EMTs, whatever you want to call them. Dumbass. Red Foreman says it best, man. You're a dumbass. I think Red Foreman, if Red Foreman was a real person, we should make him president. You know what I'm saying? He would declare you a dumbass first. Then he would ask you what your plan is. And if your plan still reflects that you're a dumbass, his next move would be to put his foot in your ass. That's a real simple plan there. Because once a foot has been put in your ass, things change. things change. Don't set yourself on fire over an idea or a belief. It's not worth it. And don't set somebody else on fire over it either, or flip cars, or throw rocks. You guys are intolerant, so I'm throwing this rock at you. Oh, that makes sense. Music for the Vajir Holes, once again. Music from a band called Saul Dayfly, the name of the song, and you're listening to the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
It's hard to build
I'm Dave.
I'm Thomas.
And I'm Austin.
We are Soldier's Last Breath, and you are listening to Alien X Radio.
The show live at 313-444-8919. Again, that number is 313-444-8919.
Less commercials, definitely.
Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. It's the attack of the Monday morning Madcast from outer space.
Awesome.
All right, it's kind of funny that you say, hey, less commercials. Hey, it's time for a short break. Pause the action for station identification and a moment to introduce you to our sponsors. Still coming up, New Mexico finds 44 diamonds in the rough. What were they doing in there? How'd they get in there? And just a few questions, extreme teabagging episode. That's on its way up. On its way up, get it? Anyway, all of that on its way right after this short break and a weekly news update from NPR.
And now your weekly news update from NPR.
Broadcasting directly into your brain.
I've always listened to it.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has completed a Latin American trip focused on increasing pressure on Venezuela's president, Nicolas Maduro. Catherine Osborne reports Pompeo heard a call for caution.
Pompeo spent 3 days visiting Chile, Paraguay, Peru, and Colombia. They've all cooperated with the U.S. in isolating Maduro during a political and humanitarian crisis in Venezuela. But the Trump administration's continued openness to using military force caused a warning from Chile's president against that step. Colombia's president also took a cooler-than-usual tone. Earlier this month, Trump criticized his approach to drugs and immigration, despite Colombia being a key U.S. ally in the region. Still, when Pompeo visited, the leaders of all 4 countries said they would keep working toward a transition of power in Venezuela. For NPR News, I'm Catherine Osborne in Rio de Janeiro.
Golfer Tiger Woods has won this year's Masters tournament more than 2 decades after he won his first one. Woods says he's moved by his victory.
Just unreal. You know, just the whole tournament has meant so much to me over the years. Coming here in 95 for the first time and be able to play as an amateur, winning in 97, and then come full circle 22 years later.
Woods has won 15 major golf tournaments. There's anticipation over whether he can equal or surpass Jack Nicklaus's record of 18 major golf tournament victories. This year's Boston Marathon is getting underway this morning with some 30,000 runners participating in the wheelchair division. American Tatiana McFadden is looking to win her 6th title. I'm Corva Coleman, NPR News.
Support for this NPR podcast and the following message come from Texas Children's Hospital, providing care to children for more than 60 years and continuing to lead Texas and the nation in pediatric treatment and research. Locations and services can be found at Texas.
Best for food, friends, and entertainment. Stop in on Mondays for $5 burgers, Tuesdays for $3 pints and trivia, Wednesdays for $5 pizza, and don't forget to stop by on Saturday nights to visit our own DJ Wild Bill and Sporko Live. Order delivery online with Grubhub and Uber Eats at Ashley's.com. Ashley's of Westland is located at 7525 Wayne Road in Westland, Michigan. Ashley's of Westland, Michigan's premier multi-tap.
Oh my God. What have I done? What have I done?
Look at the turning wheel. The Alignment, the latest CD from the Creeping Chaos, featuring Dead in the Water. Dead in the water. Beg for mercy. And Under the Blade. We live our lives under a blade. Available now at iTunes, CD Baby, and Rock of Ages in Garden City.
Donna, is that a bottle of Igor's lube?
I wish you would just ring up my stuff without all the questions.
I heard there are millions of uses for that stuff.
I only have one.
Have you ever tried playing a naked game of Twister all covered in this stuff?
Can't say that I have.
This stuff will really help to get you out of a tight spot. Or into one, if you know what I mean. Huh?
Are you almost finished?
Just waiting for the bag boy. Igor?
And don't forget that my lube comes in 1 ounce, 5 ounce, 1 pint, and 1 gallon sizes, so you can feel free to try out that naked twister thing.
Uh-huh. Now see, I told you.
Igor's Lube. Get some today and get some tomorrow. You got something to say? Don't be a bitch. Call into the show at 313-444-8919. Or you can jump in the chat room at alienxradio.com. Broadcasting from beyond planet chaos directly into your vagir holes. It's the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
The house is now on fire.
Yes, the house is now on fire, and you are once again inside the mothership for the attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. We got less than half an hour left to go, people. And then coming up at 12 noon, it's time to serve man. It's a cookbook, a mouthful of alien stone for lunch, an hour of requests. And when I say requests, I mean requests of any kind of music. I mean, I don't care what it is. You can request anything. If I've got it, I'll play it. It could be country. Whoa. Yeah. Country, hip-hop, R&B, rock and roll, heavy metal, classic rock, whatever. TV theme songs, show tunes, Gregorian chant music. Or you can just call to have a chat. 313-444-8919. 313-444-8919. You can always just call and chat with me. Something on your mind? Give me a call. We'll take care of that at noon. So, that is coming up. I love when I say a mouthful of aliens, so I apologize for just... My mind just... It works the way it works. I don't know. There's nothing I can do to change that. Anyway... Let's go ahead and get this thing going. We got more music for the Vajira holes, of course, on the way. But right now, it is a talking segment. And what are we going to talk about right now? Well, I'm talking about New Mexico. And they find 44 diamonds in the rough. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Well, let me tell you what. There's this dude, okay? Let me pull up the picture here. Do I have a picture of this? No, I don't, but I have got this. It's a stupid graphic, but it looks cool. Oh, pretty diamonds, right? Think about this for a second, man. Look at those diamonds. Even the ones that are round, that are cut round like that. If you turn them sideways, it's got a sharp edge and it's got a point on it and everything. You know what I'm saying? All of these, and they're square ones and stuff. So of course they got like really razor sharp. And remember, diamonds can cut glass. You know what I'm saying? Diamonds are really, really hard and really, really sharp. So it's kind of surprising to me that a guy in New Mexico gets caught smuggling 44 diamonds in his anus. In his anus, people. Ouch. I mean, think about this. When I say diamonds in the rough, I mean rough. Okay? Think about how... Oh. Jeez. Just... how? First of all, you got to push them up in there. Okay? I don't mean to, like, scare you all. But think about it. He has to push them up in there. One at a time, I guess. I mean, I don't see how you can't, like, shove handfuls of... I don't know. Maybe this guy is used to this. Maybe you can just, like, clench a bunch in your fist and boom, put your hand up there and let go, and they're up there. I don't know. I don't know this guy's history. I don't know his capabilities, whether or not he was in a circus. I don't know. He might have an act in Vegas. I don't judge. I'm just saying that's got to hurt. I would think it would hurt. Be all scratchy and pokey and stabby. Wouldn't there be side effects to this? You know, like anal leakage? And I'm talking about blood, okay? I'm talking about blood because, like I said, diamonds cut through glass, right? They're really super sharp. So wouldn't it, if it can cut through glass, then couldn't you just add the G and the L? Or remove it, rather. Remove the G and the L. Cut through your ass? You already got a crack in it. Now you got a bunch of slices, too. What is wrong with you people? I have no idea what's wrong with you. What I'm saying is that maybe he was, like, sitting down with his legs up, and that's how he was pushing him in there. Maybe he used a lot of Igor's lube. That would probably get how it got up in there without hurting him. It must be Igor's lube because it's good for everything, right? But you would think that eventually he's going to have to put his legs back together and then stand up. Music from 23EXP on the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space.
Fly too high, I get to see the light. Yeah, it's true, been there before. But now the sun don't hurt me. It blinded me permanently. a speck of light. Feeling stronger, feeling free. With the shadows of the night.
Hi, this is Mike Farrell. You may remember me as BJ Honeycutt from MASH. Here I am on Alien X Radio.
All right, everybody. It is that time once again. Time for a review of just a few questions from Inside the Mothership that happened this past, yesterday on Sunday at 12 noon Eastern, live here on Alien X Radio, UG Media in the UK, and Raw Talk Online in Florida. Excuse me. So anyway, this is what it sounded like this week when I asked D Unit just a few questions, and we went into extreme teabagging.
It's time to answer just a few questions.
Hello, hello, hello. It is now time to answer just a few questions. Gonna make you feel a little uncomfortable. I'll be honest. I'm gonna be very honest with you. I struggled this week.
Did you?
To come up with an idea, because I have put you in so many situations, in so many planes of existence, and in so many places on Earth, and in space.
It's true.
I've put you all over the place, and we did all kinds of crazy things. So I was like, well, what do I usually avoid? Let's go to, like in The Last Dragon. To seek safety, one must go to the heart of danger. So I figured, okay, what topic am I the least comfortable with? So I put myself in an uncomfortable position this week. And that's sports.
What?
Sports.
Sports.
I'm very uncomfortable with sports because I don't like sports.
Okay.
So I remembered how I used to make fun of sports all the time, and I figured I can ask a bunch of questions sarcastically and make fun of them at the same time. So, that being said...
Question number 1.
Question number 1! Question number 1 is... So out of the blue, you have decided to change careers and will now try your hand as a professional athlete. You take a look at all the pros and cons of each sport before choosing one. Here's a list so far. What is missing from each list? Hockey. Ice is cold. Hockey players get lots of tail. You have to ice skate. You heard chicks like ice skaters. Hockey scores are low, so there's no pressure to score multiple times per game. Or A, you don't have a cool Canadian hockey player last name to go from shoulder to shoulder across the back of your jersey. B, you just don't care enough about hockey to watch it, let alone play it. Or C, you have to participate in brawling, and you would prefer to keep all of your teeth in your mouth.
Definitely C.
C. Good.
Definitely
That's
C.
a good answer. We like our teeth in our mouth.
Yes.
Because they work the best for eating.
Yes.
That way.
Exactly.
And same things with the TH sound in it.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's no.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Exactly.
Okay, so football.
Foosball for the devil.
Guys will slap you on the ass, but also, so will easy women. Your legs could be junk after you retire, but also, you will have made connections with all the right doctors to supply you with all the drugs that you need to forget about your knees and feel like they're being crushed, or forget about your knees that feel like they're being crushed in a vice. Provided that you have gotten your... Jeez, oh, Pete. Provided that you hadn't gotten brain damage yet, you could transition into sportscaster as long as you can still speak clearly, unlike me, and make sense. Or, shoulder pads are unflattering and you can't throw a spiral to save your ass. B, you don't like needles and they are in every NFL player's future. Or C, you have to get arrested for drug possession while driving a sports car. It's in every standard NFL contract.
I'm going to definitely go with B.
B.
I don't like needles.
No. And pretty much when you sign up,
you're gonna
at some point you're gonna have to take some needles in the kneecaps.
Yep. Cortisone shots.
Oh yeah, screw that. And in your back or wherever else.
Yeah.
You know?
Elbow, wrist, shoulder.
Bonus question.
Oh, there's a bonus question.
What would be the worst part about you playing basketball? A, you can't jump. B, you don't want to wear shorts in public. C, you can't fake falling down. Or D, you can't see yourself with 14 kids by 8 different mothers.
D.
Very nice, very nice.
However, I can't jump either.
Right.
But
there might be a combination of answers.
It could be a combination.
Check all that apply.
E other, both A and E, both A and D.
And now,
question number 2.
Question number 2. So, now with all those pros and cons, you have narrowed it down to baseball player or MMA fighter. You will now make your final decision and start your new career as professional athlete. Let's think about a few things for just a minute. It's a big decision. As a baseball player, you get 4 balls and you get to walk to first base. If you had 4 of the type of balls you need to be an MMA fighter, walking might not be that easy. What size and type of metal balls would those be?
What size would they be?
What size and type of metal balls do you need to be an MMA fighter?
They'd have to be huge balls made of brass.
Close enough. Big brass balls. Absolutely. You have to have big brass balls to be an MMA fighter.
Big brass balls.
That's right. As an MMA fighter, the likelihood of taking a couple balls in the face is actually greater than in baseball. They just won't hurt as much as in baseball. When baseball hits you right in the eye socket, that might hurt a little more. Outside of sports, what is it called if you intentionally put your balls on someone's eyes?
A teabag.
Teabagging, yes. All right, very good answer. Ding, 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 ding. All right. The way your energy is distributed is completely different in these two sports. In baseball, you have long blocks of resting time with short and fast jumps in the physical action, but the game could last a long time, sometimes going into extra innings. In MMA, you only get short breaks and are mostly running at full steam the entire time. While filled with intense action, it could end unexpectedly with an upset at any time. If I asked all of your past sex partners to choose for you based on this criteria alone, what sport do you think you would be in? Oh!
I'm going to say an MMA fighter.
You're going to be an MMA fighter. So, yeah, you never know, man. It could just end at any moment with an upset. But at the same time, though, it's constant
All right.
action. Okay, I see
what
what
it
you're saying.
is.
All right. Bonus question. What do you think would be more devastating? A 95-mile-an-hour fastball to the face or a spinning hook kick to the face?
Ooh.
I have 2 answers you could choose.
I am going to say spinning heel kick.
All right, one answer you could have chosen was they're about the same. They would both they could both cave in your cheekbone pretty safely.
Yeah.
The other answer is ask Felipe Lira. Wham! He took a shot straight back, right into the face, broke his jaw, and spun him around and put him to sleep right there on the mound.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, that was messed up. Pretty sure it was Felipe Lira. Watch me have the name wrong. Anyway.
Question number 3.
Question number 3. Question number 3 is, so, golf it is. You have weighed out your options and figured that aside from the casual walking, the physical aspect of it is pretty mild. You get to enjoy the nice weather. There is no need to wear shoulder pads or a cup. You could train on your own as it is not a team sport. Unlike baseball, in golf, the ball will stand still and wait for you to hit it. Like in kids' t-ball. And unlike in the MMA, you are supposed to hit the balls. This all being said, you want to be remembered as that guy, so you want to be the very first extreme golfer. Mixing the game of golf with the entertainment value of professional wrestling, let's design your extreme golfer persona. In baseball, the batters have intro music. This is also true in the MMA. This is something that you want to take to the world of golf as well. So what will be your theme song, your intro? AC/DC's Big Balls, 9 Inch Nails' Head Like a Hole, or Other? And go.
I'm going to go with Other. And I'm going to do Creeping Chaos, Beg for Mercy.
Beg for Mercy. All right, so that's rocking while you come out onto the green.
Yes.
All right. Now, how will you enter? How will you make your appearance at the start of the game? A, fully clothed but stripped down to a G-string by the time you reach the tee. B, you parachute in from a helicopter onto the green dressed like Shazam. Or C, other. An answer.
I'm going to go with C, other. I'm going to have a custom golf cart with a stripper pole on the back.
With a stripper pole on the back.
Radio going and a keg in the passenger seat.
Nice. All right.
That's how I'm going to roll.
All right. Now, what will your signature move be? What will you be known for that no one else has done? You will be the first athlete to be sponsored by Igor's Lube and toss out sample-sized bottles out to the spectators as you walk out into the green. B, instead of using a golf cart, you will be carried from hole to hole by a guy dressed as Sasquatch. Or C, other.
Oh, I'm going with A.
A, definitely.
Absolutely A.
Definitely A.
Yes,
always
flavors.
bet on Igor's Lube.
Always bet on Igor's Lube.
It's always the way to go. And your bonus question. When doing interviews, what voice will you use? A, your normal voice. B, that of Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah.
Or C, use a sampling machine filled with all possible answers to all possible questions in the voice of Morgan Freeman just because.
Oh, yes. C.
C, Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Always bet on Igor's Lube and Morgan Freeman.
Yep.
All right. You know what time it is now, right?
Lightning round.
It is now time for Lightning Strikes. There is no right or wrong, just whether or not you agree with me. Here's the lightning round. Big balls or tiny balls?
Big balls.
I would have accepted either answer because we don't judge. Now, if that guy earlier had big balls, they might not have gotten into the little hole on his IKEA chair, and he might not be singing soprano. Hearts or clubs?
Clubs.
Very good. See, you remember what we've been doing here. Pitching or catching?
Pitching.
Oh, yeah.
You threw me a curveball.
Oh, punt intended.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
White men can't jump. Woody Harrelson or Woody Allen?
Woody Harrelson.
Because if it would have been Woody Harrelson,
you can't hear it, Jimmy.
I would have been like I just I feel it very much anxiety when I try to do the jump shot. So that was what it'd be like. It would be like Woody Harrelson.
Yes.
Or something like that. It's a really bad impersonation, but
Yes. You can't hear Jimmy.
A grand slam. Is that football, lacrosse, or Denny's?
Denny's.
Yes. Get that grand slam breakfast, baby. And that fake sausage and the runny eggs. Okay, never mind. Let's go somewhere else.
Big boy.
And finally, your backup sport. Synchronized underwater tennis or jousting?
Jousting.
Very good, because jousting is an actual thing.
See, underwater synchronized tennis.
Yes.
What the?
Exactly. That's why we're getting into jousting. So there you go. Jousting. That's your new sport.
Joust. I like it.
And that has been Just a Few Questions. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining me this week for the Attack of the Monday Morning Madcast from outer space. Until next time, this is Alien Stone saying peace. Stick around because a mouthful of Alien Stone for lunch coming up next with To Serve Man, an hour of requests right here on Alien X Radio.
This is flight number 914 from Earth to our planet. We will be